2026 will either destroy your online fitness business or make it better, and it's gonna come down to the decisions that you make right now. The online space has been extremely tumultuous over the past year to a year and a half. And there's a lot of coaches online talking about how they understand what has happened and this is what you should be doing and these are the new things that are gonna blow up your business in 2026. And the reality of it is they don't have any idea what's actually going to work because nobody understands what's happening in detail. There has been a big shift in views, a big shift in leads, in content promotion, algorithm shifts that nobody can really explain other than what they're getting off of YouTube's website. What I want to do today is give you a framework that you can take and compare it to what your online business looks like right now. It's going to show what gaps you have, where priorities should be placed in a sense of what is actually going to grow your business and cause you to work less, which is a good thing, versus not grow your business, stay stagnant while you are hustling and working harder and putting more effort into the things that actually don't work. So let's break down what I call the A.C.E.S framework. A is gonna stand for audit. Auditing your online fitness business right now, seeing what is working, what is not working, what are you consistent of, what has worked in the past, what is the audience telling you, what are your viewers telling you, and making decisions based off of data, based off of understanding and truly knowing who your specific person is that you're trying to reach, what they are looking to accomplish, and making sure that your content is hyper specific at solving that one thing. Now, this may be like, well, duh, it's always important to do those things. And this is where it gets very sticky. When I was running Fitness for Back Pain in the early days, I was stuck in between doing more volume, putting more effort into it. I wanted to scale. I was hitting $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 months, and then I hit a $30,000 month, and I'm like, I wanna keep going. I wanna do more and more and serve more people. So I was thinking maybe effort. Maybe I needed to hire more people, get more editing, improve my editing, and do all these kind of novelty things. But all that really did was just add more confusion to my business, right? I was making more content. I had to think more about what I was gonna do, and I didn't wanna spend so much time thinking of content. So I started to get lazy with content. I started making reels on Instagram, shorts on YouTube. I was doing Instagram posts. I was making Facebook community posts and trainings and lives. And I was doing so much effort, and I thought that the little bits of increase that I saw while doing that amount of effort, I thought I have to keep this up in order for me to actually grow. And the reality of it is a lot of that stuff doesn't really matter, or it does matter, but you just don't need to be doing it anymore. So one area that worked really well for me is auditing my time. What was my time being focused on? What was I doing? What was I spending this time on? Was it editing Instagram reels? Was it taking all the pieces of the smaller form content out of my long form and making it look good and editing it and making the description and posting it or scheduling it or whatever I was doing? That is a lot of work and it is very time consuming. And if you're at a point where you can't hire someone right now, that's totally fine. But if ultimately you're looking to scale, you have to get really good at producing the thing that brings in leads. And if that is short form content for you, then that is where you need to be auditing and making sure that what you're doing is very precise. So auditing what is working, what is bringing people into your funnel, what is the best call to actions that you have, what posts, long form, short form, bring in the most leads, bring in the most new followers, and doubling down on the things that you know really, really work and shutting out all the rest. Now the C in A.C.E.S stands for clarify. This has been something that I've been working on and still continue to work on to this day in my own online fitness business, fitnessforbackpain.com, is really getting specific at who I'm speaking to and what their pain points actually are of the person that I'm trying to communicate with. So for example, I do back pain. So I could just talk about back pain. I could talk about sciatica, stenosis, degeneration, all these things. But ultimately, what I really work well with are people who are looking to learn how to overcome the fear of movement, of exercise, of daily activities, of hobbies due to the chronic pain that they are in. So this is focusing on managing and dealing with chronic low back pain, but a lot of it comes down to the fear. It's lack of confidence in movement, lack of confidence in their body despite their pain, that they are actually able to heal. So what I had to do is stop just talking to general back pain and start focusing on the specific symptoms and the mindset of the person I'm trying to get in front of. This is not something that you're going to get right over a weekend mastermind or paying some coach $20,000 to work with them to help you fine tune your audience. They're not going to be able to do that. They will happily take your money, but you're going to have to do that work and really take time and be patient with understanding who you're talking to, which means you might attract and work with people who are in line with what you can do. You can get them those results, but they're not like the ideal best person, and that will take time to continue to refine. What I would encourage you to do is understand the symptoms and mindset of the audience rather than the specific person, right? If you're saying, I want to work with 40-year-old women who have 7 kids, who own a business and drive a Lamborghini, like that's a niche, right? That's a very isolated person. But when we say niche down, it's not so much being that specific, but just really make sure that you know the mindset, the thought patterns of your ideal person in that niche, and then just vomit that type of content and that vocabulary and that terminologies and those words and those descriptions to that person rather than trying to reach all the people who are women, 40 years old, bunch of kids, etc., etc. E in A.C.E.S stands for execution. Now, what I look at execution is there's different areas of execution that you can look at. And in the terms of making money, of converting views and content that you're making to high ticket paying clients, you have to execute your funnel very well. And what I have learned over the years is the more boring your funnel is, the better it works. Boring funnels are better. And what I mean by boring is each piece of content that you have will fall into a bucket. Let's say you have 5 buckets in your niche. In my back pain space, it might be mindset, it might be movement, it might be activities or daily habits that you do. It might be strength training routines or form checks or whatever it might be. And I'll have the different buckets that I will speak to in this specific person. So what I would do is for each one of those main buckets that I talk with, I have a very powerful opt-in or a call to action that works really well at getting a very specific result for each one of those buckets that I can always just throw out there and say, hey, if you want to take this concept deeper with actionable steps, reps, sets, routines that you can copy and paste, then grab this, go to here and get that. In your business, don't just have one opt-in. Maybe it's a quiz, maybe it's a webinar or a VSL or some kind of training that you have. Don't settle on one really powerful thing, and that's good, you can do that, but being hyper specific is how you're going to win in online fitness business in 2026. And hyper specific simply means for you, understand what your buckets are, create very hyper specific opt-ins or call to actions for those specific buckets, deliver a really cool value in that call to action that ultimately leads them down to your boring funnel. Call to action leads to an email response in a sense of you have a 5, a 10, a 15-day email drip or sequence. I use Kajabi in my online fitness business. If you want to learn more about Kajabi, I think you can try it for 30 days free using the link in my description. I love Kajabi. It does everything that I need in my online business, from processing payments to building sales pages to webinars to building courses, my high ticket coaching, whatever you need to do, Kajabi can do it. Again, you can check it out in the link below. But inside Kajabi, I'll actually have a 5, 10, 15-day email funnel, and that funnel will nurture. It'll provide value. It'll always be saying, hey, if you want to take this a little bit deeper, if you want personalized help, if you're ready, if you're at this point, you can book a call, you can book a call, you can book a call. So for my business to scale, I needed to spend more time inviting people to come talk to me than I did just teaching, right? If you teach and value and teach and value and teach, but you never ask, you never say, hey, come deeper, learn faster, get results quicker. Like if you don't do that on a very routine basis, weekly basis, These people are just going to be in consuming mode. It's information mode. And they can always get that anywhere else, on chat, on Instagram, on YouTube, on the internet. You have to be specific in calling them deeper into a more structured relationship with you, where they can get the results that they're there to get faster. Now, the funnel is ultimately leading them to book a call, to get into a high ticket environment with you. And this is the big thing when it comes to execution, is everything has to, from start to finish, have a beginning and an end, right? You have the beginning, you have the content, you've got the flow of the funnel, you've got the funnel teaching and providing value and calling them to action to book a call. Then you have the option to book that call, to go into a sales process with you personally, to land that high ticket sale. That funnel right there has made me over $1 million online since starting my online business. So we don't have to make it complicated. We don't have to have a bunch of offshoots of funnels. Keep it simple, do one thing, and talk to one person. Now, the S in A.C.E.S stands for scale, and this is where a lot of you are probably at. You're at $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month. You have a proven method. It is working. Right now in the environment of online space, things feel broken. I know personally for me, I have been through many panic modes over the past year and a half, thinking that all of what I've built and have done over the past year was for nothing because I can't track things. Things have fallen apart. But through this process of what I'm calling my A.C.E.S framework, it's allowed me to focus on what actually matters. And what matters is making sure that I'm giving the people in my funnel, my viewers, the people who want a specific result, an opportunity to have a very personalized, very high-touch, results-driven coaching process. And this is a high-ticket offer. Gone are the days are low ticket memberships, low ticket courses, low ticket groups. We need to be high ticket, and that's the only thing you need to be offering. I went all in on high ticket only about 4 years ago, where before I was kind of all in on courses. Then for about a year and a half, I was like a hybrid version where I was high ticket and courses, but growing faster, less confusion led me to that high ticket. Now, math alone, when it comes to high ticket, will make it make sense. Think about the math here. If you wanted to make $10,000 or more, you would need $250 unit sales to get $10,000 for that month. And that's a headache. It's an administrative headache. You're having to deal with all these people. Low ticket people typically are headaches to begin with. They're wanting refunds. They're not happy. They can't find their stuff. They can't log in. They're constantly needing you. Therefore, you hire an assistant. Now you're paying an assistant and they can't figure it out. Whereas if you were selling a high ticket offer for, let's just say $2,500, all you got to do is sell 4 of those to hit your 10K number. Now that you have your high ticket, it's actually easier to scale because you can either charge more, which is the easiest way to make more money in your high ticket business. If you're selling it for $2,000, then sell it for $2,500. Get comfortable with that. And once you're saying, a lot of people are saying yes to that, you can overcome those objections. You can go to $3,000 and you can keep going up and up and up as long as you are able to convert and overcome objections on those sales calls and shift those mindsets. You can technically charge whatever you want. But what that high ticket client is going to come with is less headache, more independence, more ability to solve problems on their own. They're there for the information. They're action takers. And they just need you to be there to help them. And what I have found doing high ticket, it is a lot less hand holding. And you can actually show up, serve these people well, and it serves them and it makes you money. So in 2026, when there is a lot of panic, there's a lot of uncertainty. Again, I know me personally, there has been a lot of moments over the past year and a half where I've had to lean on Jesus. I've had to trust God for my business, trust God for the provision, and trust God for the next step, the next evolution of what I'm doing online. But the number one thing that will always stay true is making sure that you understand what is working and what is valuable in your market. This A.C.E.S framework is something that you should always take yourself back to. If you're like, what do I do? What do I work on? What should I be focusing on? Use this A.C.E.S framework and audit every single line that you've seen here and make sure that you're doing these things well. If there's small tweaks that you can make, it is best served doing that than editing 6 extra short form pieces of content when all of these things matter more. Now, at the time of shooting this video, I have a very small audience, right? Right now, I really just want to get to know where you are at personally. If you've watched it all the way to this point, I'm gonna offer you something that is absolutely free. There is no catch to this whatsoever, but I'm gonna offer a 30-minute free call with me to go over what your business looks like right now and answer your biggest frustration. What is your biggest sticking point in your business? The only reason why I'm doing this is I want to help you. I want to gather more information about the people who are watching my content, which is you. And it's going to be absolutely free. I'm not going to pitch anything. This is simply a information gathering call for me and a value call for you, because I'll be able to answer and help you in your business right now. The only catch is in the link below this video, you will have to fill out the application to be selected to be on that call. And depending on when this video is being viewed by you, the link may not even be there anymore. So if it is there, take advantage of this free coaching opportunity with me. If it is not, the opportunity has ended. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you on the next episode.